Hey everybody, it's been a while. Planting season is over for my husband. Has been for a little bit, but then he went right into cultivating. So we've been busy. I haven't really had time to film anything. It's been survival mode, which is to be expected this time of year. The kids are with the babysitter right now, so I have some time to work in the garden and hopefully film a garden tour today. It looks very different from the last time you saw it. My garden gate is open. That's not good. You just saw me move Marley into a little temporary fence, and we've been doing that here and there when we're home for a few hours. I'd say 3 or 4 times a week depending. Our pasture is not great this year. We do let the goats out. The goats are just free roaming right now. I do let the goats out to do that as well. Sometimes I'll put them in with Marley, but if they're gonna fight me on getting into a pen, I'm just like, whatever, you're fine. I'm out in the yard, so I'm not worried about it. So it's been nice to have Marley be able to get fresh grass on a regular basis. They're still eating the pasture. It's just so short, and it's just not, it's not great. We replanted it this spring, and it was a very weird spring. So I don't think anything really came of it. I had the vet out yesterday for the horses and the goats, just for a checkup. And we floated Dassel's teeth as well, because he was drooling and showing some signs that he needed some dental work done. So we did that. And even my vet said that a lot of the pastures, like her pasture and a lot of other pastures she knows about, are just not doing great this year. So not really sure what that's about. I know our soil is extremely compacted where the pasture's at, because it used to be old field that was conventionally farmed, which isn't great for the soil. So we've been tossing up ideas as far as how we're going to handle that long term. We don't have a really large pasture, but we also don't have a lot of animals on it. So some of the ideas we have might help, but it also just might be too many animals on that short amount of pasture for it to be sustainable long term. So we're just tossing up ideas right now. I'm very happy that I have a horse that handles hot wire very well, and I can easily put him in a little portable fence and not worry about him. And he goes in and out so easily. So he's still getting plenty of fresh grass. They get hay 24/7. Marley is still a little bit on the thinner side, so I've been graining him occasionally as well. The goats are perfectly healthy. Dassel's doing really well this year. It's been honestly nice to not have to lock him out of the pasture like I've had to do the last couple of years since he's foundered. So that's been actually very nice. As sad as it is that our pasture is not very reliable right now, it's been nice to not have to worry about separating him, and yeah, it's been a relief. So other than that, I don't have a whole lot else to update on. My garden, some of it is doing great, some of it's not. This weather's been really weird this year. I haven't been up to the garden here for the last few days. I've been out of town, and then we had rain. I know it's very weedy, so I'll probably get some of that taken care of. But yeah, I'll post all that in a garden tour here of all the good and the bad and otherwise. Looks like my husband was working on redoing the water line. He had originally done one last year, and the stuff that he used to dig the water line cracked right away, so that sucked. So we've just had hose up here, but it looks like he's redigging that and putting in new water line, so that'll be nice. But I'm gonna get into the garden here and see some stuff that's kind of disappointing, so I'm gonna get going on that. And the first thing that needs to be done is weeding. Yeah, clearly. garden buddy joined me. I had the gate shut, but she leaped it because she says, no, I need to be in here with you. Holly tamale. Sweet girl. Hey, boys. Hi. Are you ready to go back? Come on. Come on, boys. Come on. Good boys. Come on, boys. Come on. Come on in. Oh, excuse you. Good boys. Here you go, Desi. Here you go. Good boy. Hello. Hello. All right, I have to go get the kiddos. Now they're playing at the beach with the babysitter, which is so much fun for them. I got almost all of the weeding done. All I have left is like my containers, and like my raised beds. But all my in-ground beds are weeded, which is a huge relief. That'll hopefully last a few weeks at least. And then, yeah, tonight I will go up and finish weeding, and then hopefully I can get a garden tour up tonight. Well, film tonight. Definitely not up tonight because that takes a lot of editing. But goats are back in the run. Marley is still out in the portable pasture, but he does so good throughout the day, so I don't mind running and getting the kiddos quick, and then yeah, we'll finish up the garden tonight. Here's that water line that my husband dug in. He just hasn't quite finished it. There's the old line. It's a big trench in our yard right now, but I think it's all hooked up. And another sad thing, if you've noticed, my garden is missing these garden beds that I had in the corners. This is where I had peas growing last year. Unfortunately, I thought, hey, I should probably test those for lead because they have paint and they're old. Yeah, they were very, very high for lead. So, and like the paint was chipping off of them and everything. So that was a bummer. But I'm glad I did that, and I'm glad I checked. And decided not to plant on them again, just for the pure safety of my children and me and my husband. Like I said, we grew peas on them last year. My daughter ate the peas. But I got her lead checked for other reasons, and it's fine. So whatever exposure she had to it from that or whatever else around here, she's fine. So that's good. That's reassuring. There's this clover growing just on the floor of the garden. And these bees flippin' love it. They're everywhere. Actually have some more clover that I got at a county fair a couple years ago, and I've just had it in my seeds, and I've not planted it. And there's a spot of dirt like right here on the walkway that doesn't really grow grass very well, so I'm gonna plant that. It's pollinator bee lawn Dutch white clover. Covers a 10 by 10 area, so I think I will put more than enough to kind of sprinkle it through the path here. I don't know if I should work this soil up at all. I don't really have any good tools out here for that, but maybe I will here and work it up and then water it in. And I have to rake up the rest of my garden beds because I pulled a bunch of weeds earlier. And then I'm going to also plant pumpkins. get those in the ground. And then I'm gonna hopefully be able to film a garden tour for you guys this evening. So let's get going on all that little stuff. Just have a few more radishes left in here. Otherwise, I have harvested them all. These ones are still pretty small. That one's not even forming a bulb yet. That one's getting there. Have some volunteer dill. I'm gonna pull the rest of these weeds. I will replant this bed of radishes. It's just something you can keep going throughout the year. I don't think it gets too hot here for them to really bolt before they're ready. They're super quick growing. They generally, in ideal conditions, only take about 25 days or so. But obviously that can be dependent on several factors. If it's not been warm enough, if it's not been cool enough, how good you've been watering them. This bed I planted the same time I planted that other bed, and I'll show you what that other bed looks like. And that's also a factor. Different locations, even if you treat them the same, can have different nutrient values. For some reason, that other bed just is very poorly. This is what the other bed's looking like. Some of them are starting to bulb up decent, but for the most part, they're not doing anything. So, not sure what's going on in this one. You can also see all these tiny little succulent looking things. I'm wondering if this soil is just depleted so much that it's drier, even though I water the same. This like gray fuzzy stuff is sheep's wool that I put on a lot of the in-ground beds and some of the raised beds as fertilizer the other day. My husband actually got that bag of organic pelleted sheep's wool from an organic farming convention, and he let me use it on my garden since obviously as a small bag wasn't going to do him good for his crops. So yeah, my first time using anything like that. I usually don't fertilize much at all throughout the season other than in my green stock, but I really wanted a good run this year. And like this bed here, some of my beds I knew were kind of depleted already. So I'm going to leave a lot of this little succulent looking stuff. I'm not sure what that is, but it feels very rubbery like succulents. I'm going to leave it in there because I think it's pretty. I don't think it's rooted very deeply, so it's not going to do any harm. I think next year I will add another layer of soil to the top of this, and then obviously fertilize really well at the end of the year. I finally bought some pepper plants from the local nursery. I was waiting until we didn't have any evenings that got below 50 degrees, but it just wasn't happening. So I finally just bit the bullet, and they have been struggling. I'm not sure what all of this is going on, but they have not grown at all in the last week or so. And especially this one over here. This one's just really kind of struggling. These little burnt edges, I wonder if it's herbicide damage, but we're surrounded by our own fields. And all of this is organic. All the way behind us is organic. The only fields we have right now that are conventional is over there, and we just sprayed today, and I noticed this before they sprayed. So I don't think it's necessarily herbicide damage. I think they're just getting cold at night, and the leaves are kind of burning off from being too cold. These leaves too are kind of affected, so I'm hoping that they come back, and they come back tough, and they give us some fruit. I'm pinching off all the little baby peppers that are forming because they clearly need to put their energy into their roots and to establishing good strong plants before they give me any peppers. So I'm gonna finish weeding this garden out here and move on.